All right, let's say you've got 24 hours or maybe 7 days to get ready for the ACT. Now, naturally, whatever I go over, if you have more than 7 days, let's say 3, 4, 7 weeks, then you're certainly going to whoop some tail on that ACT. But let's say we had only 24 hours and we're taking a test tomorrow and it's 5 p.m. during the day. You need to do something for the next day's test or next week's test. Well, let's just settle our nerves a little bit, right? Just set our expectations. You're not going to get a perfect score. You're not going to get the greatest score possible. You're just going to do as well as you can, but you're going in with a strategy so you can see what's behind the scenes, experience it, come out of that test and say, all right, bet. I got money. Next time I'm going to get a better score. Now I know what I need to do. And everything I talk about, all you have to do is repeat, rinse and repeat, and you own the ACT. And for that matter, you also own the SAT because you need to use strategies as well in that test. All right, next screen I'm going to show you. Let's just go to the internet and see what we got here. So when you take your ACT practice test, you can take it online as a digital test, or you can take it as a paper-based test. I'd say if you sign up to take the digital exam tomorrow or next week, then sit down and practice digitally. But in the future, when you sign up for the ACTs again, you better sign up for the paper-based test. I am 100% for paper in the ACT and 100% for digital in the SAT. So again, if you're taking digital tests and you're going to practice for tomorrow's test or next week's test or whenever it is very soon around the corner, then practice taking digital practice tests. So at act.org, you'll find their page where it says full length practice tests. Let's see if I can go into it. When you click on that screen, let me go back to it, right? You see where it says in yellow full length practice test? When you hit that, it'll drop the page down a little lower. I don't like how they set this up, but it's their test. What am I going to do? See in the middle of the screen where it says practice one timed, and then you have practice test one untimed. Either one, take your time so you can feel the timing if you're going to take it tomorrow or next week. So I'm going to click on English. Let's start off with the English, and I'll describe to you what you need to do. So the screen will open up. What I like about the ACT is that they don't immediately start counting down the time. In the SATs, as soon as they show you directions or instructions, time is ticking. So let's go to the next page. And it's telling us we got our 50 questions. We already know the rules. We're going to select the best answer choice. If there's no change, then we select no change. No big deal. But remember, we have strategy. In the last video, oh, you know what? Before I go forward, let me just review. In the last video, we talked about our strategy. So these cheat sheets I had gone over in the previous video, if you need access to these, remember, just contact me, Mr. Alberto, at 786-877-7231. I figure out a way to get it to you. Now, we have strategy. Remember, we're looking for our later questions. Within the first 60 seconds, we're going to be attacking the test to identify the later questions, and we're going to dummy answer those guys. Then we'll go back and do the remaining friendly questions. So the later questions are unfriendly questions. What are the unfriendly question types? They're right here. We covered this in the last video. What are the friendlier question types? They're right here. And we covered this in the last video, but we're actually going to do it live on a practice test. So let me get back to it. Let's go to next. Whoop, here we go. This question, which choice? Notice the timer's ticking down, 33 minutes and 54 seconds. Which choice makes the sentence most grammatically acceptable? That is acceptable. What is acceptable? Is that a word? Acceptable. That is a friendly question. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to the next one. I'm looking for the ones to flag. See this one? Which choice makes the sentence most grammatically acceptable? Friendly. You have to know these to recognize them. The writer wants to emphasize a positive experience diners have at Atala's restaurant. Which choice would be the best? Is that a question really designed to slow you down? Yes, it's making you think. So we're going to flag that sucker, but we're going to select an answer. I'm going to pick D for my dummy answer. Notice what I did, flag and dummy. Next one. Given all the choices are accurate or true. Remember we talked about that? We're going to flag that's unfriendly. Dummy answer D. Next. Which choice makes the sentence most grammatically acceptable? That's a friendly question. I'm not going to do it though. I want to identify all the later questions. This is friendly. This is friendly. This is friendly. 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 You're probably thinking, but should I just do them? No, Bubba. Friendly. Just find the slow ones. Which choice helps indicate each historical epic covered? Heck no. Flag it. Dummy answer. Next. This is friendly. Friendly. No, you see all that, but if the writer were to delete, what would the paragraph primarily? No, flag it, dummy answer. I chose D. Sometimes I choose C. Sometimes I choose B. I never choose A. It's just a rule of mine. But I always pick the same dummy answer. Now, if you're going to be the type that wants to have some variety in dummy answering, I'd say don't. Christmas treeing, you oftentimes will miss answers. It's better just to select one answer choice and stick with it all the way through. This way you run into correct answers. This is friendly. This one, given that all are accurate, flag D. Next, friendly. Next, friendly. Which transition words? They're friendly. At this point, the writer is considering adding. No, already slowing me down. That's a speed bump. Oof, this is a speed bump. I'm not even going to read that. You can tell it's ugly. If the writer would delete the highlight text, no, I'm sorry. Slowing me down. I ain't got no time. I'm looking for digits. I'm looking for ACT score digits. Which choice makes it grammatically acceptable? Yes, friendly. That's another friendly. Friendly. Most logical, friendly, friendly. At this point, right? No, flag, dummy answer. Boop. Next. Which choice? I like that one. I like this one. Ooh, ugly. Flag, D. Next. Ooh, another one. Flag, D. Next. Remember, I'm chose D for this one. You could have chosen C or you could have chosen B. This one, long question. You can sit on that, Freddie. I ain't doing that one. Oh, I'm skipping, skipping, skipping. This one, which choice best maintains the stylistic pattern of descriptions? That's something I would do. If it's stylistic pattern descriptions, there's going to be a pattern. I think you'd recognize the pattern, but I'm going to flag it because I had to slow down and talk to you about it. This one I'm skipping. This one I'm going to flag D. Boop. This one skipping. Oh, this one definitely flagging. I'm already on question number 46. I just got a few more to go. Now it's keeping or skipping. The rest considering revising. No, we're going to revise another time, Bubba. I ain't got no time to do that now. Skipping. And this guy is flagged. Whoop. Now, on the right-hand side of the page, you see where it says flag, and to the right of it, you see index. I'm going to index this, right? Let me just click on index. What happens? Oh, it lists all the questions. Check it out. You can see all the ones that are flagged. Now, we went to the last question 50, flagged it. Now I'm going to go all the way back up to question number one and do my business. I hit item one, bang, it brings me to the very first question at the top. Now, if you're taking this as a paper based test, you'd be doing the same thing. With your bubble sheet, you'd be dummy answering. Notice we have, how many minutes do we have for this test? 35 minutes. So with me talking, we still have another 30 minutes to go. Plenty of time to own all these easier early questions. I'll just do a few of them. So here, which choice makes the sentence most grammatically acceptable? It begins with, at first, Brazilian chef Alexa Atala opened his restaurant in Sao Paulo in 1999. People told him he'd never succeed. Pause. I just saw the connection. I see a broken comma rule. Brazil at first, introductory clause has got a comma. We'll keep it. Brazilian chef Alex opened his restaurant in Sao Paulo 1999, comma. People told him he'd never succeed. Those are two complete sentences set off by a comma? Heck no. There's something wrong with that. That we have to get rid of. So answer choice A is wrong. Now, should we delete the highlighted text? If I delete it at first, it's going to read Brazilian chef Alex opened his restaurant, and then comma, people told him he'd never succeed. I'm not keeping D either. The best answer, it seems like we have an introductory clause, it's going to be C. Once you type or tag your answer, just hit item two, the next question. Boom, and just follow. Now I can scroll up and down to follow the flow of the story. I like following the flow of the story because they like to be tricky and give you some the sentence before the actual question might be related to the actual question that comes right after that sentence that you'd read. So I'm going to start with reading Atala. Atala, whose restaurant has consistently ranked among the world's best, has long disproven the naysayers. Using traditional Brazilian ingredients, comma, such as comma, manioc root, and even ants, hyphen, ooh, in innovative ways, comma, he has thrilled diners from around the world. Hold on here. They're testing our hyphen rules. Now, if we take a look at the answer choices, we have hyphens involved in every answer except for answer choice D. Now, what is the hyphenated information? As discussed in your comma rules video, the hyphenated information is going to be additional information brought into the sentence, but it's set off by another hyphen. Open with a hyphen in the middle of a sentence, you got to close with a hyphen in the middle of a sentence. So let's reread it. Using traditional Brazilian ingredients, let's try answer choice C. Use, Using traditional ingredients such as, and then you have a hyphen. No, the such as immediately that would follow would be the manioc root. You wouldn't have to put a hyphen there. It's like saying such as manioc root. So let's back that up a bit. Let's take a look at answer choice B. Using traditional Brazilian ingredients, hyphen, such as manioc root and even ants. Hyphen. Do you hear? I lowered my voice so you can hear that's additional information. Hyphen, answer choice B, such as manioc root and even ants. What is that all related to? What came immediately before the hyphen, the ingredients. Oh, so you're telling me more about the ingredients? What are the ingredients? Such as manioc root and even ants. Let's remove hyphen to hyphen and see if it works out. Using traditional Brazilian ingredients in innovative ways, he has thrilled diners from around the world. Do you hear it better? So answer choice B is the best answer. Hyphen rules. That's from the video about hyphens and colons that I provided you guys. If you haven't watched it yet, find some time after this and go ahead and review it. Right now, I'm not going to do the entire test. We're just doing a few of the questions. But what I'm trying to show you is that once you've answered all the later questions with dummy answers, then you can work on your fast questions or your early questions, which are your friendly questions, and take about 20 to 30 seconds per question. If you do that, you build up more time so that you don't feel pressed and rushed to deal with changing the answers to the later questions. But if you were to run out of time, at least you would have answered all of the early questions. Now, the early questions, they will total up to, in this particular ACT practice test, 28 early questions out of 40 total questions would be scored. If you were to answer those easy questions or early questions correctly, you get a score of 22 by ignoring all of the rest of the later questions. Now, those later unfriendly questions we did provide answers to, you would actually have some of those questions answered correctly. So what's really cool is that you will at least pick up 3 more correct answers. But the key to this is owning those early, easier, friendly questions. That takes some practice. You guys already know the rules to grammar. So those early friendly questions are grammar related rule questions that if you do practice, just take about an hour watching the Comma Rules video, you'd be answering a lot more questions correctly. The later questions, you slow down. They're like reading comp questions. You'll be able to answer the remaining 12 questions with the time that you have remaining, and you should certainly have about 10 to 12 minutes of time to answer those 12 questions, of which you're only going to need maybe 3 or 7. If you answer 3 more questions correctly on your 28, you got a score of a 25. If you answer 7 out of those 12 questions that are later or unfriendly questions, you get a score of a 29. And that's how you attack the English section of the exam. All right, now we're going to talk about the layout of this. See how I pressed index, which is on the right-hand side. See in the middle of the screen, you see filter by, and it shows all questions. But you see to the far right-hand side, you see index. If I hit index, it'll show me the questions individually. It's all right. That's what I'm used to doing used to seeing when I'm taking these tests. But with the index, woo, it's so much better to go through these and hit these questions one by one. The flagged ones I will skip. I just hit all the ones that say items, item 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And boom, when I hit 15, skipping it. Get 16, 17 done. 18, forget that. No, I skip it. Do 19, skip 20, do 21. When you get all the way to the end, to the last early question, then you can back up and do your later questions. You can go all the way back to the beginning, or you can work backwards and work on your later questions. That will be the best way to raise your ACT English test score. And that's pretty much it, guys. Just watch the videos on hyphens, apostrophes, colons, semicolons, and commas, and that will go a long way if you're taking a test tomorrow. Peace out. Oh, by the way, please practice on a digital test. Take care.